Well, just so happens one of the people on my list was a guy named Todd Gergen, who had invested in Sky Pipeline. Todd in the room here? Hey! There's Todd! So Nick, was asking me, who do I know? And well, I know this guy Todd, and his family started this company called Party Light. And he had invested in my company, Sky Pipeline, and he'd made a great return, 5 times his money type thing. And so what does Nick do as a good upline? He says, well, let's get him on the phone.
Put me on a 3-way call as fast as you can. So let me talk to that guy.
That was literally, and I've documented this in my writings and stuff, that was literally the month after we started. I was in the room with Todd. The Gergen family decided to give us our seed capital to start the business, and that was at the end of 2005. And then we utilized that capital to, do some innovations, do some hiring, to learn what not to do, right? We spent, from 2005, late 2005 till, 2007, early 2008, learning what not to do. And then Todd's family company came knocking on the door again. We just launched this weight loss product that tasted really good. It seemed like it was getting some traction. The economy was doing great. We were on top of the world. The business was almost at about $2.5 million a month. And they're like, well, we would like to invest in the company, partner with you guys, and do this multi-year transaction. And we were like, we're on top of the world. Nothing can stop us. We're worth millions of dollars. All of a sudden, our business is doing great. And then, we're just basically a little something happened.
The bad news. By the way, I'm the bearer of all the bad news tonight. So, how many of you guys remember right around November, exactly 4 years ago, when the economy in one day went 100% the other way following the stock market? Does anyone remember that day? Well, guess what? That was 30 days after we had announced on stage our partnership with Life. And we literally thought nothing could stop us. We were going global. It was game over. How many of you guys, before the economy went down, you were at the top of your game, the best you'd ever been? Like, nothing could stop you, right? That's where we were at. Nothing could stop us. And then one day, it all changed. The business model that we had no longer works in the new economy. What happened was the economy really proved what was a valid model and what was not a valid model. And it wiped out most of our industry. And we had gone from almost $2.5, $3 million a month all the way down to $600,000 a month in sales. And it was bad. We were in a position where we were forced with a really important decision, which was either take every last dollar we had and go all in, or the company goes out of business. And I'm guessing you know what we decided to do when we took every last dollar that we had and put it all in to make sure that ViSalus would be here for the long term. And we locked ourselves in a room. And we locked ourselves in a room with some of the leaders here. If you were a part of ViSalus BC, ViSalus Before Challenge, stand up, ViSalus BC. Where are you at? Give these guys a huge, huge, huge round of applause. Before the challenge. These folks were all here before we launched the challenge. And many of them, we got in a room together and we said, we've got to figure out a solution to this problem. See, guys, business and life and success, all of these things, it doesn't just happen where everything's just great and great and great and great all the time. For Blake and I, it was great, and then it was really bad. And then for the three of us, it was great, and then it was really bad. And then what happened, guys? What happened, Blake?
We locked ourselves in a room and said, you know what? It's time to reinvent. There's that noise again. You guys got to put yourself in that state, right? Put yourself in a state where the company's going back downhill, all of your net worth back into the business, in an atmosphere where all we're hearing is depression and recession and consumer retraction. Noise, and noise. Goes back to that same principle, guys, that as entrepreneurs, we have to rise above the what? Rise above the what? Noise. Rise above the what? Noise. So we locked ourselves in a room. we took that different perspective. We said, here's a challenge. Let's overcome this. Instead of giving in to what everybody was saying and saying, you know what, you can't build it this time, we said, no, we're not going to accept that. Let's build a business model that was going to resonate for that economy for today's consumer. If people are worried about money, let's show them how they can replace their meals and drink shakes for what? Free. How they can refer 3 and get it for what? Free. We said if people need cash right now, let's stop focusing on how someone can be a millionaire overnight. Let's get really good at giving somebody a simple social model that if they follow, they can make a couple $1,000s a month and drive a BMW paid for by us. And let's get really good at helping the working middle class put food on the table for their families. Let's make a model for that. We said, let's do something that's never been done. If we're going to reinvent ourselves and put all of our net worth back in, I was tired of wearing suits. Nick was tired of wearing suits and ties. We said, forget that. Let's shift the culture. Let's have fun. Let's be transparent. Let's be who we are. Let's create something, guys, that we could love for the rest of our life, and let's build a business around that culture. And you guys, the Body by My Challenge was born and we went to work. But I'll tell you, it was not easy.